Parent-teacher conference, bonuses for your next test. Here you go. You're supposed to consider the equation 2023 to the x to the y is 2023x times 2023 to the y, for which values of x are there no values of y that make the equation true. All right, let's think about this form quiz. You have x to the a to the b is x to the ab. You also have x to the a times x to the b is x to the a plus b. Now, why am I talking about that? Because this guy right here can be rewritten as 2023 x to the y. And the other side, since these are both 2023s, is 2023 x plus y. Now, there's another thing I ought to put on your form quiz. Maybe it's something that I add later. Something I need to add. And let me think of the way to write this out. If x to the a is equal to x to the b, a is b. They're the same. So notice these bases are the same. xy equals x plus y. Now, number 4 on the basics addresses how you solve a system like this. Which values of x are there no values of y that make the equation true? For which values of x are there no values of y that make the equation true? All right, so we're going to solve this thing for y. We're going to move this guy over here. xy minus y is x. We're going to factor y times x minus 1 is x. And then we're going to divide. So y is x over x minus 1. Now, we haven't gotten to this yet in Algebra 2, but we have a commandment. You cannot divide by 0. If x is 1, you divide by 0. Therefore, x cannot be 1. So, there are no values of x that create a y value, because if x is 1, y has no output. All right, 21. Consider a triangle whose vertices are the origin and the intercepts of y equals 5 minus 2x over 3 plus 2x. What is the area of the triangle if the point 1, 0 is 1 centimeter from the origin? So, I'm going to take a look at that graph. Be careful when you use a calculator when you're graphing. 5 minus 2x needs to be wrapped. 3 plus 2x needs to be wrapped. Zoom 6. And whose vertices are the origin and the intercepts of this thing. So I think that they're talking about right there and there. And they gave us a point on it. All right, that's a good thing they did. It looks to me like there's an x-intercept probably at 2, but let's do a look here. Second trace 0. Enter, enter, enter. Oh, quit. Second trace 0. Forgot about this one. Takes left boundary, enter. Right boundary, enter. Back for guess, enter. 2.5. So if I think about this thing on a grid, I've got a vertex at the origin. There is 2.50. And right here is the y-intercept, and that happens when x is 0. So second trace value, x is 0, 1.666, or 1 2/3, or maybe 5/3. That's at 0, 5/3. And they tell us that the point 10 is 1 centimeter from the origin. I don't know why they're telling us that. Don't know why they're telling us that. Here's my triangle. All right. Her height is 5/3. Her base is 2.5 or 5/2, whatever you like. And the area of a triangle is 1/2 base 5/2 times height 5/3. And that's all I need. 5 times 5 is 10. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 3 is 12. Reduces down to 5/6. This is a fun one. Which of the following is equivalent to the cubic root of 2 times the square root of 3? You have on your formula quiz that the root of A times the root of B is the root of AB. You also have on your form quiz you have this idea too, that x to the p over r is the rth root of x to a power. Together, these two are telling you that you can multiply radicals together if the base is the same or the exponent is the same. Yeah. See, in exponential notation, this is 2 to the 1/3 times 3 to the 1/2. The exponents don't match. I can't multiply these numbers together. I can't do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to seek a common exponent of 1/6, because then I can do something with this. So I have to ask myself, 2 to the 1/3 power is equal to some unknown number to the 1/6. And I can get there through my knowledge of exponents. I know that a 2 squared to the 1/6 is equivalent to 2 to the 2/6, which is 2 to the 1/3. So I'm going to rewrite 2 to the 1/3 as 2 squared to the 1/6. I'm going to do the same trick with the 3, all right? 3 to the 1/2 is equivalent to something to the 1/6 power. Well, what I need is I need a 3 here, because 3 times 1 over 6 is 3/6, which reduces to a half. So I need this other guy to be 3 cubed. These are bonus questions, by the way. These are the things that they ask you when I take you to a math contest. Now, these two match. So my answer is 2 squared times 3 cubed, all to the 1/6 power. 2 squared is 4, 3 cubed is 27, and that's 108 to the 1/6 power, which as a radical is the 6th root of 108. Fun stuff. Now, you guys don't know anything about 23 yet. You don't. And I don't want to give away too much of this one, because you don't know anything about logarithms yet. But if I was a kid taking a test and a teacher had taught me about y1 and y2, I think that's what I'd do. So y equals 3 to the e. There is an e key. It's down here at the ln button. It's right down there. Second ln, that is raised to the 2x. The other guy is 2e to the 3x. Zoom 6. There's an answer somewhere. I think it's right up here. Second trace 5 for intersect. If it's not, I'll have to look up. Enter, enter, enter. There she is. Now, I got an odd looking decimal, 0.4054, and I need you to understand that that's rounded and not exact. What would the answer be? Hmm. Wonder if it's that simple. What's the natural log of 2/3? Oh, I was close. What's the natural log of 3/2? Ah, there she is. I don't want to tell you how I did that yet. You learn about that when we do logarithms, okay? But that is the answer. Natural log of 3/2. All right. Laurie is taking a dual enrollment statistics class and forgot to go to class on Friday. Notice the quotation marks. Unfortunately, he wasn't expecting that pronoun. Missed a quiz and received a 0 on that quiz. Luckily, his kindly old statistics professor will drop his lowest grade. He had 10 quizzes, and the average, which is the mean of his grades, with the 0 is 15.3. What will his average be when the professor drops the 0? So if you take 10 quizzes and multiply by the average of 15.3, you get 153 total points. All right? He's earned 153 total points. That shouldn't be hard. Now, if the teacher drops the 0, you still have 153 points, but only 9 grades. So we just take 153, we divide it by 9. It can be quite a bit higher. 17. 17. There's his new average. 25. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is s. What is their product? This is a rough one. So I'm going to make up 3 numbers here and look for a pattern, but they're going to be consecutive. Consecutive numbers would be something like 1 plus 2 plus 3. All right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. And here's what I see. If I take the sum and I divide it by 3, I get the middle number. So I have 3 things that add to s. All right? If I take the sum and divide it by 3, I get the middle number. So the middle number's got to be s over 3. The number preceding it is s over 3 minus 1. The number at the end is s over 3 plus 1. And that should make sense. If you take a third of s and add it to itself 3 times, you get s, and the 1's cancel. So these are your 3 numbers. Now, your job is to find their product. So you're supposed to figure out what s over 3 minus 1 times s over 3 times s over 3 plus 1 is. That's not quite as easy, now is it? I would take these first. That's what I would do. So s over 3 times s over 3 is s squared over 9. Then you're going to have a plus an s over 3. Then you're going to have a minus an s over 3. And then you're going to have a minus 1. And those guys cancel each other out. That's why I did that outside pair first. because I knew there'd be a cancellation. So I've got this guy right here, which is s over 3, and I have to multiply it by s squared over 9 minus 1. That's just the distributive property. That's going to yield s cubed minus 27 minus s over 3. And now what you'd have to do is you have to combine the fractions. So s cubed over 27, in order to add or subtract two fractions, you have to have a common denominator. That's just the way it is. Minus, what do we got? 9s over 27. Hope you see that. I 9 the bottom, I 9 the top. And now I could say this is s cubed minus 9s, both pieces sitting pretty over 27. Those are your bonus questions. I liked that one. I did. I liked that one because I've never done it before. Sorry, yeah, this one. I've never done this one before. I've never done a problem like it, so I was glad to see that. I've been doing this a long time. I've never seen a problem like that. So it's kind of nice to figure that out. And I liked this one. I like 3 of them. So there's your bonus questions for your next test.